Hello and welcome to the Diana Falzone Show here on Paltalk.com. Happy early holidays to everyone, and actually some of our Jewish friends as well. Happy Hanukkah. We have a very fun guest in studio today. We have Allison McGevna. She's the entertainment editor for Fox401.com. You guys can check that out right now for your inside scoop on everything entertainment. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so you have a lot of scoops for us today.
Yeah, oh my god, it's just the celebrities never sleep. The holidays, it doesn't matter. They're just keep acting crazy.
I have to say that we're talking about acting crazy, that we have to talk about Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because I am obsessed with that show to my boyfriend's chagrin. I can't stop watching it. It's addictive. I know many people think it's the reason why the whole idea of the nuclear family is going downhill. But what's the latest on them?
So the Kardashians are just continuing on this kind of firestorm after Kim's divorce. It's really been, the backlash, as everyone knows, has been crazy.
Yeah.
They're still going on with their show. Right now it's Kim and Kourtney Take New York, and you get to kind of see some of the behind the scenes of maybe what was leading up to the divorce. And it's funny because actually if you watch on camera, they don't really have a lot of chemistry. You could tell that there was already problems, like they're fighting about where to move to and where to go and all that stuff. So it's kind of interesting to get to see that happen, to see maybe, you know, to understand a little more why Kim finally decided to file for divorce. But it's still really not enough for people. They're not buying it. They're not, you know, they're just mad. So, but, you know, then there's the big move with Khloe and Lamar, because Lamar, of course, got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. So that was a kind of a big deal. She said she's got a warm reception from Dallas already. And Kourtney's expecting a new baby, and, you know, the other girls, the two young girls, Kendall and Kylie, just got their own show. So there's so much going on with them. It's crazy.
Now, do you feel like with Kendall and Kylie being 16 years old, and I think, is it Kylie who's the older one, or Kendall's the older one?
Yes.
Being 16 and Kylie's 14. Is there too young to be a reality star? Do you think that we're maybe, I mean, I've seen the pictures, and they've appeared on men's websites, and they're underage. They're not even barely legal. They're illegal. And my question is the momager, Kris Jenner, kind of putting her daughters in harm's way by revealing their whole lives? I mean, these are their developmental years.
Right. Well, yeah, this has been a big issue with everyone for a long time because, first of all, the girls are very beautiful, and, you know, they're growing up so fast, and they're 14, but you see them on the red carpet, and they look like they're like 20 years old. Yeah. So it's, confusing with that to kind of, you know, they've always been around the sisters, the older sisters, and I think that they are trying to be women too fast. You know, they're not enjoying being a young teenager. They're not even older teenagers. I mean, you know, one is 16, so she's getting up there, but this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
So I would say that, you know, it's definitely, you know, it's questionable in terms of how much exposure is too much exposure at such a young age. By the time the Kardashians got famous, Kim and Kourtney and Khloe, they were all in their 20s.
Right.
And so it's very different. They've already had the private childhood. They were not famous as children. And we all know what happens with famous child stars.
Right.
And I just feel like when you live every single moment of your life, when you're, you know, learning about the world and learning about adulthood, and you're living it all in front of the cameras, that cannot be good for you to understand the world. You're not understanding the world the way that a regular person views the world.
No, because you have handlers and you have people telling you what to wear and how to dress and how to act, and you're also getting validated for pretty much not accomplishing anything.
Yeah.
So you just, and once that spotlight goes away, which we all know, no matter how big of a star you are, your star will dwindle and then reignite and then dwindle again. You have to be okay with those ebbs and flows of fame.
Right, and I think you have to be comfortable with yourself at that point. And I don't really know any of us who at 14 or 15 or 16 felt like I'm strong enough to be, you know, a public figure and have people, and it's a different kind of public figure. They're not actors who can act in a movie, do the press, and then go live their life and go home. These girls are getting famous for just whatever happens in their lives, their crushes, their, you know, learning about stuff at school, and, you know, bullying, whatever they're going through is being played out for America to see. And if there's any example of bad teenage reality shows, look at Teen Mom and all these things on MTV.
Yeah.
Are just, they're a train wreck.
Do you feel like the world of reality TV is being overexposed, and that maybe in the next hopefully 3 to 5 years, we're going to see kind of a turnaround and going back to drama and sitcoms that are acted.
I totally think that.
Yeah.
I feel like reality TV is coming full circle. You know, for a while people were so obsessed with housewives, and, you know, there are still some kind of, and I think that the educational shows and the competition shows like American Idol, X Factor, or some of the stuff that's on like Discovery, you know, that's different because you're learning about something. Right. But I think these like following the lives of certain people, I think people are just sick of it. I think, you know, that the Kardashians, you know, and that whole empire, people are kind of tired of watching that. And I do think you're seeing a lot more sitcom development. You're seeing a lot more you know, dramas that are being, you know, brought in, and the networks are really pushing hard for their own creative shows. So I do think that, you know, we'll still see reality shows, and, you know, like I said, American Idol isn't going anywhere. Yeah. But I think that, we are going to get sick of, like, Housewives and all that stuff.
And speaking of the Housewives franchise, I actually am physically getting stressed by watching those shows because I see these women. There's one scene, and I'm sure guys out there are like, stop talking about it at nauseum. Well, the importance of talking about what's going on in pop culture is that it actually weaves the blanket and the fabric of what goes on in our world and how people think they're supposed to act in regular society. So there is definitely impact, not to be too heady because it's a fun show. But I do kind of see that with these housewives, these women are in their 50s and late 40s, and one girl's like, are you serious? And this 50-year-old woman goes, are you serious? I'm like, this is what we teach our young children not to do, and here they're going to emulate this. Yeah. So I do hope that there will be a backlash. Now, moving on to some different kind of rumors out there. Bon Jovi is fighting the press on saying, he's like, I'm alive, I'm very healthy, I am not dead. How did this rumor start?
You know, we constantly cover these death rumors, these internet death hoaxes, and, you know, there are so many kind of fake websites out there. All it has to do is one person has to tweet it or say it on Facebook, and then it just catches fire, especially if it's somebody so popular like Bon Jovi. Yeah. But he was really funny and lighthearted about it. Yesterday he went on his Facebook page and was holding the sign that said, heaven looks like New Jersey. So it was really funny and lighthearted. I mean, you know, gosh, it would just be so sad for all of us if we lost Bon Jovi, but luckily we all dodged the bullet.
Thank goodness. I'm a Jersey girl, so I can't even imagine ever losing him.
Right. We'd be, you know, at the end of the night when you go to like a bar and they're playing, you know, Living on a Prayer, everybody be crying while we're singing it.
He looks so good for his age.
He does.
There are just some of those like ageless stars that never seem to age poorly. I look at some of them and I'm like, how do you look perfect? Christy Brinkley, for instance.
Oh my God.
What is she doing?
She is a freak of nature. She is incredibly beautiful and looks so young. Yeah. You know, last night I was at the Mission Impossible premiere, and we were all talking about Tom Cruise. The guy has no wrinkles. He has like a few laugh lines around his eyes. And of course, you know, people say, you can speculate and say that he's gotten Botox or whatever, but I don't think so. I think the guy just has really good genes and takes really good care of himself. But he's 49 years old, and I swear to you, he looks the same as 29. He had like the Top Gun haircut.
He did.
He looks identical to how he did.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I'm sure that's hard for his wife. She's probably like, listen, why am I aging? And I'm significantly younger than you. Was she there, Katie?
She was there, yeah. She didn't talk to any of us, though. She just kind of posed for pictures, and then she really didn't want to do press. It was like when she was walking down past all the press, she had, you know, her handlers kind of walking with her. So she's very reserved, but Tom was great. He talked to every single person. He must have been out there for like, you know, 2 hours. Wow. Just talking to every single media outlet. So it was really nice to see.
When you look at those kind of Hollywood marriages, what are the ones that you think we will hear about lasting?
Well, I mean, Tom and Katie have lasted way longer than anybody gave them credit for. You know, the ones that I think last, I mean, you know, are the ones that I feel like are from that kind of different generation. I really look at Tom Hanks and his marriage. I think seems like it's really solid. And, you know, then you also look at people who maybe kind of live their relationship outside the public eye. Matt Damon and his wife. Right. You know, she's not somebody who's in the public eye, which I think probably makes it a little bit easier. But, you know, I think people who play out their marriage in front of the tabloids, some people can't help it. I think no matter what Brad and Angelina did, they're not married, but no matter what they did, we would follow every detail.
Right.
But, you know, there are some people, I think it's really a matter of how much you allow the press to see. And, you know, then they're not following you and reading your every body language moment. I mean, I think about with my boyfriend, if paparazzi were following me and, like, you know, we just had an argument in the supermarket or something over, like, you know, what kind of bread to buy. And people would be like, they're breaking up, you know.
Exactly.
It must be so hard.
Yeah, and every relationship has ups and downs. I look at Jennifer Lopez, and she seems to have one of those kind of worlds or romantic worlds where it's up and down. It's very turbulent. What is up with her dating another backup dancer?
Oh my
There's
God.
no problem with dating a backup dancer, but why one that's like not even past 25?
I know. I don't know what is going on with her. I mean, you know, for a while she had kind of, it seemed like she was really going to make it work with Mark Anthony, and then she kind of resurged in the public eye. You know, she had kind of been, not disappeared, but she hadn't really been out as much as she has now with American Idol. And it's like as soon as she came back and came back strong, that marriage was just kind of, you know, fell by the wayside. I mean, look, I hope for her that if this guy is somebody that she loves, that, you know, that it works out for them. But I just can't imagine what, you know, somebody who's 24 and is a backup dancer really is going to have for, you know, in common with Jennifer Lopez, this huge paparazzi followed star, you know, for a lasting relationship.
When you think about paparazzi followed stars, is it true that they tip off, certain stars tip off paparazzi in order to get that following? Or is it only, you know, only the super famous ones that get followed? Because I'm like, why is Heidi and, you know, is Heidi and Spencer, they get followed? Some people you never even heard of have paparazzi around them. Like, it's odd.
Absolutely. No, this is a huge business. That, you know, they will tip things off. There are certain events and venues, maybe in Los Angeles, I'm sure there are some in New York, that you see pictures of people all the time at these particular venues, and they are just like, the sole purpose of them is to, okay, we're going to have a celebrity do this, we'll tip off the paparazzi, and it's beneficial for the venue and also for the celebrity. There are certain, you know, restaurants that, you know, if you go to, they're just planted there, and you just kind of tell them, you know, we're going to be here tonight, take our photo. I mean, that's really how a lot of people say that a lot of these people that you're kind of scratching your head, like, how did she get so many paparazzi following her? Chances are a lot of those kinds of celebrities really, they have people and handlers tipping off the paparazzi, tipping off newspapers, having publicists email media outlets and being like, I have it on insider information that this is going to happen. I mean, it's crazy how much of a well-oiled beast the paparazzi world is.
That's so funny when you say that, because there's always like, oh, I didn't want my picture being taken. Oh, I didn't want that to happen, and da-da-da-da-da. But do you feel like there is a way to make a star? Like you said, it's a business.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think that what it takes to make a star is you have to really kind of follow the zeitgeist of the moment and like what's happening, who's popular. You know, if the Kardashians are popular right then, you have to kind of position yourself as something similar, but, you know, with its own kind of unique take on it. For the past, I'd say 5 years have been the year of the train wreck. People have just been obsessed with watching anything kind of train wreck scandal, nude picture scandal. These kinds of things really, you know, people were trying to make themselves into that. Now, I think you have to kind of position yourself as an the anti-Kardashian or the you know, non-working celebrity. I mean, but I do think that, yeah, if you're, you know, you dress yourself in a particular way, you have a certain appearance. Of course, being attractive is, I think, a part of it, but it's not, you know, it's not a deal breaker. We've certainly seen that happen. And I think it's just about, you know, making sure that you keep yourself in the press and keep yourself being seen, that, yeah, these people are really creating celebrities. It's not what it used to be where Hollywood was an elite of, if you were in this movie, you're a celebrity. Now it's, you know, Snooki and the Jersey Shore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little scary. And
It is.
There's Snooki's everywhere. It's not like she just is the one that happened to be lucky about it.
Yeah.
For those of us joining us right now, you're watching the Diana Falzone Show with Allison McGevna from Fox 401, or All the Inside Scoop at Fox Entertainment Editor. And as you know, the holidays are approaching. So what are some of the plans for celebrities for the holidays?
Well, actually, it's funny. I just talked to Stephen Baldwin last night.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, he was telling me about what Christmas at the Baldwin household is like. He said he's going up to see his mom, and he's going to see his brothers there. He said they always talk about politics and religion, and of course it always gets heated because Stephen and Alec are about as far apart on the spectrum as you can be. And
one's liberal and one's pretty conservative.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And they talk about religion, and he said that don't be surprised if the breadbasket contents start flying across the table. But he said it's all, in good love. And I think that was such a funny and honest story, because I feel like that's so many people's families. You have different kinds of families, and obviously we're going to argue. We also talked to, kind of what the celebrities are buying. We did talk to Kate Gosselin, who was telling us that this year she wants to just kind of make Christmas all about her kids and the dog. She was saying that, they were really going to just have a low-key Christmas. They're kind of happy to be out of that public eye a little bit. Kate is now working as a blogger, so she's got a regular person's job now. And so that's interesting. And
that's kind of cyclical, right?
Yeah.
It always kind of goes back around.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Invest your money wisely, no matter who you are. That's what I always say.
Oh my God, I know. And it especially, if you're gonna be a reality star and you're gonna say, okay, this is what my career path is gonna be, have a plan going into it. Don't just be like, I want to be famous, and as so many people do.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Santa will bring, some of those D-listers a new plan for 2012.
That's a very nice way of putting it. And also for everyone else out there, I know for Christmas, it's one of those things where it's crunch time, and you have better got some holiday gift ideas. I know for me, I'm pretty much done, and it's the first time, because usually I am the procrastinator. I just go in like one-stop shop. I'm like in and out. I'm the warrior of Christmas. Nice. What are some gifts that you think would be good? I know that Foxborough One has a gift guide right now.
Yeah, our gift guide we've had there are some really great deals, especially for last minute shoppers like myself.
Guilty.
Yeah, still have my mom and my dad to buy for, so I'm a little behind. But there are, right now I feel like if you go to the stores, there's a different deal every day, so that's really good. Like you might go today and there might be, 50% off sale at your favorite store. Tomorrow it might be buy one, get one free. So there are definitely options for you in that. I think a lot of people are still doing online shopping. A lot of like Amazon and a lot of those online stores have great shipping deals where you can still get something in by Christmas if you get it, today or tomorrow. You really are running out of time here. But I would say that the kind of popular gifts are really technology, gadget kind of stuff. There are great deals on, the Nook from Barnes & Noble and the Kindle and the iPad. Now is kind of the time to get a lot of those great deals on that. Digital cameras are really, really cheap right now. I was amazed. I saw a Canon, like a 12 or 15 megapixel Canon for like, $100 or something crazy like that.
That's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of deals on that stuff. A lot of, if you buy cold weather items right now, there's a lot of, because it hasn't really been that cold. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on sale. So if you want to buy, your husband or your wife a new winter coat, you're going to get great deals on that. If you want something that's more a little bit, along the lines of like if you do have a celebrity fan in your family, Bret Michaels was just telling us that he has these custom design t-shirts. Ooh! So that's really, if you want a Bret Michaels t-shirt, now's the time to get it. Exactly, who doesn't? And, so there's lots of those things. Fox 411 has tons of holiday gift guides of, stuff that Sharon Stone was telling us that she might buy her family. Wow. So, if you, your favorite star might have their favorite gift up there, and you can get some ideas from Fox 411.
So that's great. So check out fox401.com for all the gift ideas, which I'm sure some of you need. Yeah. And also about the box office, some disturbing news that it's really hurting this holiday season. And there are some good movies. I just saw The Descendants, and I thought it was great, although tearjerker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the last 2 weekends at the box office have been the worst in more than a decade. 2002 was kind of a peak. And, people talked about how it was right after 9/11. Right. People really wanted something happy and fun to do. A nice distraction. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now it's kind of bottomed out. Movies, first of all, are so expensive. I mean, New York City, we're paying $12 for a movie,
I feel like it even went up.
Yeah, it could be 15 in some theaters, exactly. Yeah. And that's New York City. The rest of the world, they're looking at $10, $12. You know, some people still get an $8 ticket, but, you know, really expensive. And if you have kids and let's say you want to take your 3 kids to the movies, then you want to buy them popcorn, which is like $5 for a small popcorn. I mean, it is just so expensive. You're looking at $100 to sit in a kind of dark room together for 2 hours, you know?
And hopefully the movie's good, because I know before, when you're younger, you're like, you don't know how much it costs, and you're like, well, if the movie stunk, it stunk.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you're almost angry at the movie, because you're like, I spent so much money, and it was like a movie you wanted to walk out of.
Right. I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying, that the studios are like movie factories. I mean, there's, you know, it used to be that you might have 1 or 2 big movies opening in a weekend. Now you're looking at like 4 big movies opening every weekend. And, you know, obviously the quality, I think, is going to suffer a little bit. You know, certainly there are still great movies and still big draws, but there hasn't been a kind of big Christmas time box office movie.
Not like Elf.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and not even just a holiday themed movie, just like a big blockbuster, you know. I remember a few years ago it was starting with Lord of the Rings, that was around that 2002 time. And then, you know, you had kind of like the Spider-Mans coming out, or that's usually Memorial Day.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Now.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking at, you know, the movies right now. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes was #1, made $40 million. You know, certainly a respectable opening, but it was down from $65 million last year.
How about movies like Twilight? Aren't they grossing like billions of dollars worldwide?
They are, but, you know, it's, and that was last month that the Twilight movie opened, which made lots and lots of money. But, you know, those are kind of like a once in a while sort of thing. And Twilight was, you know, it's coming near the end, and that's why it's so big now. And Harry Potter certainly did well, but right now, you know, I don't know how many people are going to see The Descendants, and I don't know, even if it is a good movie. You know, Mission Impossible is making a lot of money, and it opens nationwide, I think, tomorrow. So there is still hope. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo opens next week, or this week rather. So, you know, hopefully some people will go, but the box office is really suffering. And, you know, again, it's partly the economy, but I also really think it's also the quality of movies right now.
Do you think with the Golden Globe nominations, people are more likely to go to the movie theater and say, well, that one's nominated, so it can't be too bad?
Yeah. Yes and no. I think that people, definitely the Golden Globe nominations drum up a lot of interest, but at the same time, I do think that that award shows are really out of touch with the average viewer.
Yeah.
You know, I think that award shows will nominate these, you know, sometimes obscure, esoteric movies that nobody really knows or has any interest to see. And, you know, they might just wait for that to be on video. They're curious, but they might not curious enough to go pay for it. Yeah. And I think that the movies that everybody wants to see, the big blockbuster ones, never get nominated.
Right.
So
they're commercial films.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, I do think it helps in video sales and Netflix and, you know, DVR and all that stuff and on demand. But I don't necessarily think it helps the box office, because I just don't think that, you know, people are going to go see, you know, as much as they might love Marilyn Monroe, doesn't mean they're going to go see My Week with Marilyn until it comes out on demand.
Yeah, that's personally me.
Yeah.
It's like flipping a coin, Descendants or A Week with Marilyn, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, Descendants.
Exactly. And I saw My Week with Marilyn, had to pay extra because it was a limited release.
Wow.
It was just like, it was a little frustrating. You know, it's a good movie, but I said to myself, you know, I probably have time between now and the Globes that I could have seen it later.
And speaking of TV, what are some of the shows that we can watch for? Because there are some coming out like at this kind of mid-season change, I guess. Are there a few that we can look for?
Well, right now, I think the big thing that everybody's waiting for is in March of 2012, Mad Men comes back, finally.
Ooh.
So this has been a hugely long hiatus since we've gotten a new episode of Mad Men. So definitely that to look forward to. And then, yeah, there's going to be new seasons of all, you know, whenever The Biggest Loser wraps, it's like right away they're getting ready to do another one. So that'll be coming in the spring as well. So there's lots of, you know, kind of new premieres and shows that we've been waiting to see that are going to be coming back. There are some great shows out right now that I just feel like are doing so well. You know, I haven't watched Homeland, but everyone says it's really good. And that Golden Globe nomination kind of made me say, all right, maybe I need to step back and watch Homeland. It's on right after Dexter, which I love, and so many people love. So there are a lot of good things on TV.
Well, thank you for joining us
Oh,
today.
thank you for having
It was
me.
really fun. Guys, check out fox401.com to read all of Allison's articles. She's a whiz when it comes to celebrity culture and pop culture in general. And thank you for being a friend of the show.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see you guys on Thursday at 11 a.m. Have a great day.